Welcome back for Minute to Northside LDN. Big up to everyone that is locked in. Big up to everyone in the building. And today we've got news of Zubimendi potential U-turn on his Arsenal move. Before we get into that, we've got a great panel today. I'm sure a lot of opinions. Jez, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, man. All good. Yeah, enjoying my break. Yeah, it's lovely over here. It's 25 degrees today. It's cloudy, but it's nice and warm, so that's cool. That's cool.
No, that's good, man. That's good. You need to just disconnect from Arsenal sometimes. You know what I mean? Look after yourself first, man. That's what I'm trying to do. Away from the streams, not even thinking about this club. But big up to you, Jez, every single time. Make sure you subscribe to Jez. I will be pinning everyone's link to their channels in the comment. If anyone could help me out and do it, I'll pin the comment. If you can get the link to everyone's channel, just put it in the chat and then I'll pin it. If not, I'll do it, no problem. But big up to Jez. Make sure you're subscribing to Arsenal, the history and more. Make sure you're subscribing. Fuad, it's been a while, bro, since you've been on the channel. How you been, bro? You good?
Muted.
Hey, mute.
There you go.
I'm good, man. What's happening? What's going on, lad? How you been, Giza? I've been watching you little crybaby. I've been watching you. Don't forget, I'm watching every one of you. You know, big up Jazz, big up the.
Bro, I'm disconnected. You ain't gonna be rattling me, bro. I'm on the off season right now. This is off season for me. I'm not stressed.
I'm big up to the brother down there, Tovate. Listen, I know how to rattle you. And you know the good thing about it is our referees here today, Jazz. You know me rest between us.
So make sure you listen to the ref then, innit? Or you're off. Make sure you listen to the ref.
I'll do a deal. If he books me a yellow card, I pay 50 quid. If he books me a red card, I pay $1,000 to you.
There you go. There you go. Get the cards ready, Jez. Get the cards ready. You know what I mean? But big up Fuad every single time, man. Big up to you, Fuad.
Yes, brother.
Normski, how you doing, bro? You good?
Well, yes, all good. It's all excitement on the transfer front. You know, we are here to just see what develops, and not a lot's happening right now. So normally my background sort of determines my mood I'm feeling about the club right now and transfers. So right now, this is how I'm feeling right now. It's bundled. It's that settings behind me. Yeah, tumbleweed settings, mate. That's what it is, mate. In the desert, nothing ain't going on but the rain. Yeah. But big up to the chat, big up to everybody, big up to Farad. First time I think I've been on the screen with you, so big up to you. Been watching you a long time, scrapping it out with Northside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd love to say I miss those days, but I don't.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't. But big up Normski every single time, man. And Devante, big up to you, bro. What you say, man? You good?
Yeah, man. I'm just happy the season is over, bro. This season was hell, bro. Hell from both sides, Arsenal and Ajax. So I'm just happy that the season is over. I can relax. You know what I'm saying? Check whatever's on TV. Just relaxing, man. That's what's important. Just my mind off of football for the summer.
I hear it, man. I hear it. Unfortunately, I don't come bearing good news. Zubimendi. There's been reports out that Zubimendi had an interview where he said he's not, obviously clearing up that he's not in London doing a medical for Arsenal, and that he doesn't know where his future is going to be. There's numerous ways that you can take this. You can take this as the player being professional in case the deal falls through. Or you can take this as another player linked to Arsenal, just like Mbeumo, that we're not getting over the line. If that is the case, for me, why didn't we get Partey down to a deal? Because end of this month, he's a free agent. So if Zubimendi was supposed to be a replacement, why have we been led on all these months that the deal was done, the deal was completed, that he's coming to Arsenal, it's all but done, and now we're hearing that, you know, he may want to play for Xavi Alonso at Real Madrid, that he's not over here to do a medical, that he doesn't know where his future is. The problem for me, and I want it to be an open panel, everybody can talk and we'll let everybody have their say instead of taking it in turns. And for me personally, I'm going to quickly go first and let everybody else talk. I just don't understand why we didn't get the Partey replacement over the line. I don't understand why we got Moreno in, put him on 120k a week, and the guy cannot play as a DM. I don't understand why we have been chasing Zubimendi when he led Liverpool on, and we seem like we don't have a plan B. I don't understand why there's reports out there say all these months telling us that the deal was done, and it looks like we don't have a plan B, or we seem shocked and surprised. For me, the preparation to get Zubimendi over the line is as bad as the preparation that we've had to try and get Gyökeres over the line. We know how much the player costs. We don't know what the player wants to do, and we're just sitting there playing second best and allowing players to dictate to us whether they're going to come to the football club or not. Instead of moving like Man City, that once Wirtz didn't want to go there, no problem. We'll move to the next target. We're not going to dilly-dally around. We're not going to see, if we can be second best, if we can be, the last girl in the dance because you haven't been pulling all night, you've been rejected all night. Why is it that this club not proactive enough? And anyone that wants to say it's early in the window, this is the same rubbish that we did when we bought Kelleher in, when we got Moreno in, just the window beforehand. January, going in, we had to go in for a striker. Didn't bother going in for a striker. Going and getting Sterling as a reactive deal at the end of the window. Going in for Douglas Luiz, reactionary again, to try and get him over the line. Didn't get him. When we dragged our feet to try and get Buendia, not being proactive enough in getting Isak, when all the fans were tracking Isak's car, oh, he's in London, tracking planes. We have gone through this numerous years under this ownership, with this club, with this manager. So the skepticism comes from every window. We don't do what needs to be done. We always held short. We're never proactive. And I will say it again. Why is Berta here if we are not moving differently as a club? It's all great being linked to players. He's here to get it over the line. He's here to identify the right players. He's here to make sure if we don't get the target A, we get target B. He knows exactly what this team needs. We took our time to sign him. It was months and months and months after Edu left that we went and got Berta. So why are we not moving any different? Why am I seeing the same signs? Why are we dragging our feet? Why am I watching Man United getting Cunha over the line and getting Mbeumo over the line? A Man United side that were closer to relegation than they were to the top four. How are they able to get it over the line? A Man United side that's supposed to be tight for money, while my football club reports is coming out that we got 300 million. Explain to me and explain to the panel, anyone in the chat that disagrees with anything that I've just said, why am I still seeing the same worrying signs? Anybody else can take it away. I'll shut up for now.
No, I never thought this deal was done anyway. This was another bullshit comment by Arsenal for the poor winter window where we did nothing again. I mean, yeah, I've seen rumours that Sociedad want to wait until the 1st of July, I think, because to balance the books and all that sort of palaver. That's fine. That is fine. But the key point is, if the man is sitting on a beach, as he's purported to have done, sending out pictures saying, I'm not at Arsenal, I'm not doing any medical examinations, that is a very worrying comment for me, because if he had the intention, or there was the possible intention, he's coming to Arsenal, he wouldn't bother with that. He would just ignore it and say, oh, well, people think I'm at Arsenal, but actually I'm on the beach enjoying my holiday. He actually has come out and said he'd be quite happy to go and play for Xavi at Real Madrid if he picks up the phone. So that says to me, guys, this deal's not been done or is anywhere close yet. Because a player, supposedly, if the deal was done, wouldn't be making that comment. Come on, let's be honest. You wouldn't make that comment, because if your deal was already done, but we're waiting until the 1st of July to balance the books, maybe a deal was done like that, then why would you say, oh, if Xavi picks up the phone, I'll go and play for him? It's clear the deal's not done.
Yeah.
Where are we going here with this? Where are we going? It's nonsensical to even think it's done, because Arsenal would be pretty pissed off with a player about somebody they've done a deal with saying, well, actually, I'd rather go and play with Xavi.
Mm.
You know,
So it makes you wonder whether the deal has been done at all, because you wouldn't do that. It's just unprofessional. But in my eyes, I get what Jez is saying, because if you're supposed to be having a medical, literally, they've meant to have triggered the release clause of 51 million. Yeah, why are you waiting until July? Once you trigger that release clause, then things start to move. Yeah, but it seems as if the deal hasn't been done, and the fact that he's come out. Yeah, so you've got to ask yourself the question: who's pushing these rumors, or who's pushing these narrative to get the fan base getting all gassed up about something that's not going to happen? And it's just the same old thing that happens year in, year out. Last season, somebody tweeted this out about last season's targets and Arsenal's plans. You may have seen it on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Forward key priority for Arsenal: Sesko, Isak, Neto, and Neto Williams. Yeah. Then like Nico Williams, sorry. Midfielder Onana. Well, he's at what's his name now? Aston Villa. Bruno Gomes, he's staying at Newcastle. Zubimendi. Oh well. Who knew? Yeah, he's being watched. Right. Then you go to the defender Ato, who's on Arsenal's radar. Well, that didn't happen. We ended up getting Kelleher, who's now injured. Yeah, and likely Ramsdale was going to leave. So we are back at square one. Nothing has changed. That's why I've got this background behind me, because that's what it is. It's tumbleweed settings every time. Yeah, 1st of June, I wanted to see something happen, and it's the same old same. And the question, and Northside has got right to ask the question: if you're bringing in a Berta, a sporting director of Berta's quality, because we know that Edu was just winging it, just like Arteta is winging it in the job. Yeah. We wanted to see something happen, and that's what it just feels right now. Everything just feels underwhelmed. Yeah, the targets that we're linked with just feels very underwhelmed, and now we get this news coming out. So it just seems as me that the journalists or whoever it is are pushing out these stories just to get us fans all gassed up, and that's what it all really. And I can't understand how Man United have one of their worst seasons. They're tied up a Cunha deal, and they're about to sign up the Brian Mbembo deal, right? How was that? Yeah, Liverpool, right? They ain't sitting on their laurels. They walked the league and they said, right, thank you very much. From Frimpong, thank you very much. Bert's, we're going to get you that be over the line. Kirksey from Bournemouth, and probably a striker, Ekateke or whatever from Frankfurt. 4 players that they're likely to get over the line. What are we doing? Sitting there having the same old conversation. And I asked the same question on the stream yesterday. We're going to be in the same situation when we're trying to score this window. And right now, I'm looking at it and thinking, what is there to score? What is there to talk about? We're sitting there and we're looking, and we're no further down the line. You've got the thing between Sesko and what's the name? Where we don't know. I don't know if it's a smoke screen or what. Yeah, that's Berta's man. Gyökeres is Berta's man. Sesko is whatever his man. They've both done the deals with both of them. They've both agreed. Why are you agreeing 2 things? If you want Gyökeres, go and get Gyökeres. Give him the buyout clause, and let's just get the job done. Stop messing about. And this is what we do. And this will drag on right the way through the window, and then we get them in at the last minute. And like what we did last season, where we got in Sterling, we got in Calafiori and Moreno when we needed the position that needed to be filled, which was a striker position. So we're no further forward. We're back at square one, and it's just the same old. As in the words of Patrick Evra, Netflix FC.
No, let's be honest, people. Let's be honest. Zubimendi don't want to leave Spain. We have to take example from Liverpool. Liverpool went all out last season for this Zubimendi guy, and he was like, maybe not. And then last minute, he stayed at Real Sociedad. I think he's really waiting for the Real Madrid call. He's waiting for Xabi Alonso to give him that call and say, listen, man, I want you at Real Madrid. He'll be there in a heartbeat, because we're struggling to get this guy over the line. And it's same old again. As a matter of fact, from what seems to catch my eye is we don't have no alternatives for Zubimendi. It's Zubimendi only for the midfield, but who else is there? Because we can say with the strikers, okay, Gyökeres or Sesko. That's at least 2 options you have. For the midfield, is Zubimendi only. If not, then extend Partey's contract. That's what the options are, basically. Zubimendi's not coming, people. Let's just dial that down, please. I feel like this club is going hard pause for Sesko. That's who they want. It's Sesko, and they're gonna really spend the 93 million for Sesko because Arteta really wants this guy badly. He wants Sesko because if he gets Gyökeres, as we all know, that's a proven striker. That's a win now striker. Sesko is okay. We can extend the process with the phase or whatever into phase 6 or phase 7. So if Zubimendi really was over the line, he would have been already presented by now, like Frimpong with Liverpool, right? He would have been presented by now. People gonna say, "Oh, but it's just the first week of the transfer window." Shut the fuck up, bro. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that stupid stuff. Because Zubimendi was supposed to be already a done deal. Why is it not presented yet? That means, like Jess said, it's not done. As a matter of fact, just don't even go from, because he don't want to leave Spain. People, I'm keep sticking to that. And also, what I've said months ago about Berta as well. There's no way that Berta comes in. I don't believe so. That he has the power that people think he has. Arteta has more power than him. I've said that for months now. I just don't believe that Berta can do what he wants to do unless Arteta finds it okay. If Arteta says, okay, yeah, you can do that, then Berta can go for the Gyökeres or whatever, the place that we want. But he don't want that. So Berta can say whatever you want. But as long as Arteta don't like it, you're not going to see no Gyökeres. You're not going to see no proven player. It's going to be another face. Yep.
It's crazy, man.
I can't.
Go on, Fuad. Go on.
Yo, bro, I kind of disagree with a lot you say, honestly, because
Somehow,
you know, like, no, it's nothing to do with Arteta. Like a lot of you, look, I watched yesterday. I've been watching a lot of these fans, and they jump on with now. You got to understand how the football works, all right? You all say Arteta got authority. Arteta this, Arteta that. Mate, Arteta did not want Berta. Arteta wanted Jason Ito, and he wanted Thomas Rosicky at the club. That's what Arteta wanted. So the club went behind, when they employed Berta. Soon as Berta come in, who left the club? Scott Ito. Jason Ito. He didn't want him. He didn't want this guy no whatsoever, because this guy knows how to deal with things. And when people are talking about Zubimendi, whatever his name is, Zubimendi, and I agree with you on that note. He come out and said I would never leave Spain. So when he come out in January, I think that was a stunt just to get the fans on board. But I think Berta is working in the club, because at the same time, Arsenal was going to go and buy Arsenal had a done deal for a £25 million second keeper from the Espanyol. But that deal's been on hold for some reason. And if they don't get Zubimendi, I'm all for it, because I'd rather because Berta works like this. He works for the present and the future. That's how we done it at Atletico Madrid. That's how he works. So if they're talking about Gyökeres and Sesko, get them both. One's for the present, one's for the future. That's how Berta works. So so if Zubimendi don't come, I'm not even on a meltdown. I didn't want him in the first place. I don't think he's that type of player who's going to come to Arsenal and wow we. Because at the end of the day, it's just the same midfield to finish 7th with Royal Solskjaer. Well, Martin Odegaard, Zubimendi, and Marino. I don't want that midfield. I'd rather them not come. That's the truth. So if they're going to sacrifice him for them two strikers, I'm all for it. But I think Berta, I'm telling you now, Berta, a lot of people from the upstairs have left because of Berta. Vinam left in January. He knew Berta was coming. Edu left. They all left. Scott, all our team, all them people in the board who was talking philosophy, talking phases, they've all gone. This guy's coming to do a job, and people got to give him time. Like, I'm not saying give him time, but if they keep, imagine Arsenal's first signing now, was that £25 million keeper. I'd have a meltdown myself as a football club. I'd be like, why are we buying another keeper for 25 million? Berta cancelled that because Arteta wanted it. I personally think, like, my opinion is, I reckon Sesko and Gyökeres will come, because will come. I think they both will come. It'll cost them. It's cheaper than Declan Rice. It'll cost them cheaper, and it'll be even more cheaper if they don't bring Zubimendi. We need attackers. I think midfield we can find a cheap one, but if you get 2 attackers on the bench, you're laughing. Zubimendi, to me, 50 million is too much for him. I don't think he's worth 50 million.
Like you said, we'll find a cheap one. First of all, if the reports are to be believed, Sesko's going for 90 million.
No
and
chance.
Gyökeres is going for around 90 to 100 million, so it won't be cheaper than Declan Rice. Second of all,
Who said that, bro? The buyer clause is 67 million.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah? I'll be honest
Come
with
on,
you.
bro.
Yeah?
Where are you getting your sources from?
I'll be honest with you. I said that's what is to be reported. We'll see how much they go for. But
Bro,
I'll be
the league
honest
is
with you,
cheap,
Fuad. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Fuad. Yeah, Berta's been brought in to get us over the line. If you're buying a specialist in terms of a sporting director, he knows that the team, the whole team isn't crap. We just need those players to get us over the line. Has Arteta got us competing? Yes. Now just bring the quality in to get us over the line. This is why, for me, I don't want to see a Sesko. If we're gonna get a young striker, I want it accompanied by a big boy striker. You're talking about Arteta doesn't want all these players. We're still being linked to a lot of the players that Arteta supposedly wanted before we got Berta. That's why I'm worried. What I'm worried is when we're seeing Zubimendi give us the runaround, we're still going after him instead of going after other targets. When Arteta has
we don't know that on offside.
When Arteta's been the one in charge, yeah, we've had a bench that we can't rely on. We've got a bunch of players that we're now moving on. Kivior, we're trying to move on. We didn't even get him that long ago. We're getting rid of Zinchenko. Jesus and Havertz is the strike force that this manager has brought in that ain't good enough. We've been relying on Moreno playing up front. So respectfully, bro, how can you say, oh, you can't blame Arteta? I've never solely blamed Arteta. What I'm saying is the power should be taken away from Arteta. So Berta, what are you doing? And I don't see the right players coming in. If I don't see the right players coming in at the end of the window, then I want this guy gone. What is the point having what's the point in gassing this guy up here and then you're going to give me a project player? What's the point, bro?
Okay, it's a difference, no side, but there's a difference between a YouTuber saying it and a man coming in power, and you see, like, come on, use your common logic, fans. The guy's coming to power, he's coming for the first thing he did was they got rid of Jason Ito. That's a man who was under Arteta's ass. You all said it. Listen, I've seen everyone on Arsenal fan I watch everyone moaned about these directors. This man has come and said, goodbye, Jason Ito. That's the first power shift he's got rid of.
Yeah, that's great. Bring me the players, bro. That's what I want. So, yeah, bring me the players.
But bro, give him, that's what I'm saying. He has shown the signs already. Fans can't see that. Because some Tom, Dick, and Harry off YouTube, it's like the Arteta fans, I'll be honest with you, the Arsenal fans, if you're over negative, you think you're right. And if you're over positive, you think you're right. Come down in the
middle. You're waffling now. You're waffling. Do you know why you're waffling? No. Do you know why you're waffling? How am I waffling? Because let me land my point. This is why you're waffling. When we had Edu here, people like you. Let me finish my point. When we had Edu back in the past, people like you. When we had Edu here, people like you, as soon as Edu left, Teta, you have to give him another year. He hasn't been given his players. So you guys blamed all of the signings on Edu. Cool, no problem. Now that Berta's here, if I don't get the players that I want, Berta out. I'm already Arteta out. Berta out. Because you can't have one energy for the previous sporting director, then the new one comes in, it's not his fault, give him time. Fuck all that. What do you mean give him time? I thought he's supposed to be one of the best in class. I thought he's supposed to be a winner. I thought he's supposed to be able to get good deals over the line, players that are going to win titles. So what's the point then? You can't, you man ain't keeping that energy when it's Edu, and I agree. Eddie was to blame for a lot of the players. Listen, Edu, but at the same time, don't sit here now, and now you move the goalposts. No, let me know my point. Now you want to move the goalposts and how you judge a sporting director. But you man were quick to throw Edu under the bus as soon as he left. But now that Berta's here, we got to give Berta time. No. Giving Berta time, bro. Wait there. There's a difference. I will judge Berta. No. I will judge Berta on the players that come through the club in this window, because you man gave Edu the blame for all the players that came through at the start of this process. So why are you changing them? No. Because the difference. Don't come with that rubbish. This is what I don't like about this. No. You man pick and choose. You man pick and choose. No. When you want to judge certain players,
the difference between Berta and Edu. Wait there. The difference is, give me a state fact right now. All you on Facebook, anyone from YouTube saying, when Berta have come out, I am with the process.
Okay.
No. You couldn't. No. Before you make assumptions, make a thing.
I'm not made an assumption. I've not made an assumption. I told you. I never made an assumption.
Let me finish. Let me land. So let me tell you something. The difference between me and everyone else on most probably Arsenal fan base, do your research. This man has come in with a heavy package. David Villa, whoa. Luis Suarez, whoa. Fernando Torres, whoa. Rodri, whoa. This guy has come through with it. So no YouTuber can tell him anything. The names I just named them.
And then you want him to bring Sesko to Arsenal.
No, but just say Arsenal.
And then you want him to bring Sesko to Arsenal and spend more money.
But yo, bro,
that goes more to my point.
These players I just named are all his signings.
All right, let me just come in here. Let me just make a
You can't judge it. I'm just going off what he's done.
He's going off, ballers that he bought in, under a smaller budget at Atletico. But when it's Arsenal,
you guys are more than anyone comes in. You can't be like that.
This is why we're losers. This is why
we're not losers, bro. He's a winner. He's a winner.
You're a loser because you're saying that you accept Sesko.
You don't like
so
no,
you're a loser. I'll tell you why you're a loser. No, you are a loser because you're saying to me, oh, but it takes time. If you bring Sesko, he's going to bring a project player.
Bro,
but if Sesko, wait. You're telling me all the ballers he bought for Atletico. Do Atletico spend the same amount of money as Arsenal? So what's the excuse? Why can't we get
let him do his job
on the level of those players? Why do we always have to be the project? Why are you justifying Sesko?
No, but you're talking whack because he hasn't got a job. He hasn't been here for 4 months. You're talking whack. He hasn't.
Is this the first time he's had a job? You're telling me he doesn't know world-class players?
You're expecting him.
So he's never scouted before he came to Arsenal. He literally only scouted as soon as he.
If he gets in Gyökeres, I want an official apology of all you, especially you.
So you think we don't have a list of players?
YouTubers are full of shit. You know why? Because they don't walk the guy's good.
There we go.
You just follow each other.
Mystic Fuad is back.
No, it's a fact though, boys.
Apparently, guys, the sporting director Berta, he hasn't scouted any players in his life. He's only started scouting 2 weeks ago. He's only started scouting 3 weeks ago.
Fernando Torres was a youth product from the Atletico Academy. He didn't buy him. He was a youth product. Fernando Torres was a youth product.
But is it signing?
No, it came from the youth academy.
No, but it's his signing. He's the one who scouted him. Like he scouted Rodri. But
that's not signing.
No. I'm saying to you is don't compare this guy to Edu. That's like comparing Arteta with Pep Guardiola. That's the truth. You got to give this guy, this guy's already come in and sorted out the upstairs. I don't want working with him. He's full of shit. Get rid of Jason Ito. Vinam, see you later. This guy was already, before he come in, there's shit power to him already. Because there's only one person left who went there. So Edu's gone. Vinam's gone. Jason Ito's gone. There's only one left. Who's all this time 2 years ago, you know what I mean? There's only one more person left.
We can lift that trophy then. We can lift that trophy.
You always deflect this. You've been doing it for 3 years since we've been on channels together. Look, I respect you, but you always deflect from the one problem. Arteta. He is the problem, my friend. And you always dance around it. You're blaming Edu, right? Now you're looking at this Berta guy. The guy's been in the job 5 minutes.
Exactly.
He's come in to sort out a mess that has been caused by Arteta and Edu. Why do you think Josh Kroenke, right, and it's Josh Kroenke that's employed him, has said, right, come in, we need something sorted out here. Yeah? But the problem is, there's one cancer in this club, and it's Arteta. Because the man is a narcissist, he's arrogant, and always wants his own way. And I think Berta is saying, no, he's not the man. We don't need him. These are the players we need. And sit down and talk about it sensibly as a proper manager, which he's not. We know that. Right? Because at the end of the day, we're in the same position that we were this time last year and the season before. And it ain't going to improve under Arteta. Fact. In fact, if we don't do what we need to do, I reckon we'll be in a worse position if he stays this time next year. Simple. I see no.
Cheers.
Right. Let me just come in here first. Right, just going back on it. So at the moment, listen, we're all here. We're all speculating in terms of what's going. Because if we could be flies on the walls and see what's going on, we don't know what's going on. Right? He's come in, and obviously we wanted somebody that was going to come in and not be friends with Arteta. I feel that the Kroenkes have brought him in because they would have probably gone for the likes of someone like Ziki or whoever. Yeah, but they've gone for a guy who's a no nonsense that's got pedigree, that's got experience. The thing is, at the moment, a lot of it now is just conjecture and speculation. So you're saying about bringing Sesko in and bringing in Gokeres at the same time. Yeah, you'll have to ask the question. You got to remember, there's a certain pink elephant or whatever elephant you want to call it in the room, and that's Kai Havertz. Yeah. Because even if you do bring him in, Kai Havertz is a problem. From when they bought Kai Havertz, he's been a problem because now everybody's trying to work around him because we can't drop Kai Havertz. So what we're gonna do? The things at the moment, so I'm just saying at the moment we don't know what's gonna happen. All we're hearing at the moment is rumors. Zubimendi, I've got a feeling that Zubimendi doesn't want to leave Spain as Jez says and everybody else says. I think that is the case. He's done it with Liverpool and he's done it, but it's just that the media, they keep throwing this out for us to just get all excited and then to be let down. So at the moment, we're here talking. For he could surprise because we don't know if we're getting Gokeres, we don't know if we're getting Sesko. Because I said they apparently both deals they've given them two deals. They've both agreed. Do we know they're going to bring both of them in, or they're bringing one in? We don't know. Now, obviously, Northside is saying if he brings in Sesko, which is a project, but he's been linked with Gokeres in terms of his preference. That's what the media is throwing out there, and I probably would side with that. But if he does bring in Sesko, that means that really Arteta is the one that's got the power. Yeah, when he shouldn't have that kind of power. And this is what's really, and that's why I referred back to the text that came out last season of all the people.
Yeah, but okay, all right. If Sesko was, if Arsenal signed Sesko, right, the fans and the media and the press, even the guy on Sky Sports said the other day, he said Arsenal ain't giving out anything. But we know if Arsenal signed Sesko, Gyökeres, they ain't giving out anything. But if Arsenal did sign it for argument's sake, the deal was done in January, like the Declan Rice one, because that means they got it ain't like that means they've got him his apartment. He knows where he's going to move. He knows where he's going to stay. He knows where he's going to live, and he's coming to the club. They don't have to make an announcement until Arsenal's ready to make the announcement and say Sesko's an Arsenal player. They don't have to release it. He can most probably sign the contract by now.
What I'm going to say, why do Arsenal do? Why do they just long thing out?
No, I don't know.
Ping pong. Next thing is he's flying over. He's had a medical.
However, but I'm saying,
have you seen the one today, which I wanted to ask all of you guys? Yeah, and I put it Kelleher to Brentford.
Yep,
Kelleher to Brentford, bro. We need a goalkeeper. I think he's gone for something like £12 million, something like that. So can't say we can't financially afford it. We need a backup goalkeeper. This guy held it down for Liverpool for a large part of the season. Premier League proven. Why weren't we in the market for Kelleher? I know that Kelleher, those reports, the reason he obviously left Liverpool because he wants to start. But we should not be promoting this club as, oh, well, Saka has to start. No, you have to prove yourself.
Exactly.
You have to prove yourself. And if you perform better than the other player in your position, you start. If he plays better than Raya, you're on the bench. There's nobody here at this team, that has the certified hold down their team, hold down their place. If you perform, you get your spot. How did Lewis Skelly get his spot? Performing consistently. That is it. It's an absolute no-brainer to go and get Kelleher, bro. I would take him. People forgot that Alisson was injured for so long. That's how well he performed. We got a good defense. You're telling me Kelleher wouldn't do well at Arsenal? I think he would. Do we not need a goalkeeper? I think we do. We already need to spend, regardless of whatever player we want to talk about. We already know that there's a lot of business that needs to be done. Yeah? Why not go and spend 13, 15 million pounds on a goalkeeper that you know is ready to perform? Why not? Is that not worth a risk? Is that not a market opportunity? This club loves talking. This manager loves talking about market opportunities. Well, that's a market opportunity. Inzaghi going to Al Hilal, a market opportunity, but we won't take that opportunity. Do you know why? Because we didn't take the opportunity on Ancelotti when he went Everton, because his fan base called him washed. Then he goes to a club that's ready to win, and he wins major honors. They called Hansi Flick. I was calling for Hansi Flick to come to Arsenal. What did they say? We don't want Hansi Flick. Man won everything in Spain. Bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And he had multiple injuries this season, and he's had to bring through the youth. and he doesn't have unlimited funds because of their financial situation. This club we never take market opportunities. Whenever we see a top manager, Enrique, yeah, I rate Enrique. Did I think he was going to do what he's going to do this season? No, I didn't. But I rated him higher than I would have taken Enrique. Why didn't we go get Enrique? He's got a young squad, youth project. I've gone through the price of their players. We can afford them. The highest players that they paid for were roughly around 70, 60 mil. We paid more. We paid more for Declan Rice. Then they ain't got players on stupid wages anymore. They're not doing the Galacticos anymore. How are their youth project already winning everything in France and then going on to win the Champions League within 2-3 seasons? But our process, we still have to believe. 5 years, we still have to believe. There's market opportunities out there of managers and players. And what are we doing? It's embarrassing. This is embarrassing. So this is why I say to you, Forward, yeah? Don't tell me that Arteta, but we need to figure things out. No, Berta, the job that you've come into is Arsenal must win a major honour this season. You recruit the players to get us over the line. If you are not able to do that, you are not the guy for the job. Fine, you want to clear up whatever's at the board and the higher level. That's all great, bro. That doesn't win me. I want a trophy, bro. That's all great. I'll praise that. But that doesn't take away. Hold on. That doesn't take away from the fact that I need you to scout and get over the line the right players, bro. That doesn't mean that. You still have to go and recruit the right players. And maybe it's a bit of PTSD because this club has been moving like this for 21 years, and you can't deny that, Fuad. Yeah. But we are not seeing this club move differently. At least bro, if they already got Kelleher, it's like, I would be like, do you know what? Cool. Now continue. Cool. Great start. You got Kelleher. We needed a backup goalkeeper. 1 down. 1 position down. I say we need about 7 players. 1 position down, bro. Then you go out there, you see another market opportunity. And Buemo, listen, what do you want? Cool. We need competition for Saka because Sterling ain't good enough. Do you know what I keep hearing online? When people talk about Mbeumo, oh yeah, but we got Saka. We don't need a right winger. Really?
Yeah.
Did Saka not get injured last season?
Oh, we got Ethan to back him up.
And what did Ethan do?
Have you seen how many goals this guy scored? 20, was it 19 Premier League goals?
20.
Ethan barely got minutes.
Yeah, but what it is,
listen, I don't agree with mate. I don't agree with a lot of things, but one thing I do agree with what people say about Saka, I think he is a bit overrated. I think he's very overrated because
whether he's overrated or not, you need rotation, no?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think Saka is overrated, and I think he's overrated at Arsenal too. When you look at it, people his age have done more and have scored more goals. Like he's never like the other day. I seen you when I was watching you, and you have an average in all the season at the Arsenal, you haven't scored 20 goals. Is that correct, no side?
No,
that's correct.
You never did.
Yeah, he's never have scored 20, and that's what I'm saying. So they got to look at that too. They can't just say, "Oh, Saka," because like obviously when you watch football, okay, he is a good player. Don't get me wrong, Saka's a top player. However, he's not that player who's gonna score you 20 goals each week season in, season out. He ain't, because he hasn't done it. Like when people compare him to Salah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's craziness because Salah at his age was scoring 30 goals.
This is what's stopping our transfer policy in terms of bringing in players to absolutely, what's the word? I'm trying to find the word. Players that are going to come in and say, right, you want your spot? I'm going to fight you for your spot. Yeah. Arteta could actually rotate and put Saka on the left. If you brought in a Brian Mbeumo who's scoring 20 goals and he plays off for the right, wouldn't then switch it around so that Saka plays on the left? Why can't he do that? Why is people frightened about, if we bring in Brian Mbeumo, it means that Saka, we can't challenge Saka. What is it? Why is he up on this pedestal? Every player in that team should not be sitting on their laurels and thinking, well, I can just come in, play as I am. Don't matter if I have a good game or a bad game. Because the thing with Arteta, he won't rotate none of those players. Look at Odegaard has played bad. Will he change him? Will he take him off? No, he won't. If he does take him off, it's like towards the 80th minute or whatever. When you've got Ethan sitting on the bench. So,
Arteta, I agree with you. Arteta, yeah, 100%. I agree with you.
What it is, the fan base don't like when their favourite players are challenged.
Facts.
No, I criticize. I listen. I criticize Arteta a lot. And listen, listen, I'm not one of their fans. All right, listen. Northside knows, Jez knows. I was one of the first to come on here and defend this manager before everyone. Is that correct on Northside?
True.
When Jez used to call them out, Kenny used to call them out, Northside used to call them out. They were all hiding. Now they've only come out for clickbaits. I'll be honest. I was one of the first. I'm saying now, Northside will tell you all that. If Berta and Arsenal are ready to change it, I'm all for it. Because at the end of the day, I don't support Arteta. I support Arsenal. If he gets sacked tomorrow, I ain't losing no sleep. And whoever brings it, whoever they're bringing, if they're bringing in Inzaghi, I'm backing him. If they're bringing a Conte, I'm backing him. I'll be honest with you, I'm not, because I agree with you. When it comes to football terms, Arteta will sit there for 38 games and see him have a pony game. I tell you what, 2 games that our captain had amazing against Southampton and Ipswich. Where are they now? They're playing championship football. Only 2 games. So when he's saying, "Oh, I love this player," Havertz. The thing with Havertz is the guy. And listen, you don't have to. This is every Arsenal. He is fixated with Havertz. He's fixated with him. He's obsessed with the guy. If he's not talking about how he loves him, he's talking about how built he is. So all them things there, you don't have to be a football fan to know that. You could be a neutral football fan who don't support it. You think this guy loves that guy. So Arteta needs to change his ways, and the thing he needs to change is stubbornness. He's too stubborn, and his stubbornness will be the sword of him. I don't think Arsenal will continue with him if he has a bad start. I agree with Matty. What Matty said and what Kenny says. If he has a bad start, they'll sack him. They'll sack him because you can't. The problem is now, Gyökeres is an issue. Is he going to drop Gyökeres? Like, and everyone said, Jez saying offside, and everyone's saying, and I agree with it. Is he going to drop his number 9 for the best number form 9 on the planet? What's he going to tell the Cronkies then? So when he says, "Oh, we're bringing in Gyökeres is on 200 grand a week, 200,000 a week, but your player is on only 290,000 a week, can't get in the team."
Bro, the problem is, why do we always sack a manager forward? Yeah, this is the thing, yeah. The problem is, we always react so late that then people are like, but who's better that's out there? There's been loads of managers that are better out there, that are available, but we let them get taken up by other teams, and then we go, but who's out there? Well, why don't we act before there's no one better out there? Even though that with this manager, that ain't definitely going to be the case, because anyone that's got half a CV is better than this manager. Go get the best. Look at Barcelona, bro. Man, get Xavi. Man, second job. Man wins the league, goes and gets Hansi Flick. Why don't we move like that? Why don't we move?
I agree, bro.
Why don't we move like that? Look at the managers that PSG had. People will say it's about money, yeah. But at the end of the day, look at the managers that they attract. We could have got Thomas Tuchel. The amount of managers here that we could have had, yeah, and the trophies that we potentially could have won under those managers. You're telling me none of these managers would have won something? You're telling me Conte would have won something at Arsenal? Inzaghi wouldn't win something at Arsenal? You're telling me Tuchel wouldn't win something at Klopp? We could have tried to go in for Klopp. We could have got him. Maybe not, but at least try. You're telling me we weren't going to get any of these? We still didn't heed the warnings when we saw Mourinho going to Spurs, Conte going to Spurs. We don't. How are they able to attract those managers? And we can't attract anyone. This is the best manager we can do. There was always opportunities for Arsenal to move. Right now, yeah, people always talk about how dead the striker market is. Well, then when there's a good striker, why don't you go get him then?
Oh, it's not dead anymore on offside. Come on, there's loads of strikers out there.
But this is the thing. You remember back in the day, yeah, they'll be saying, "Oh, but there's no one in the market." The last 2 seasons, we could have had Ivan Toney for under £100 million. We could have had Duran. We could have went and got Dovbyk. There's been so many strikers. Santiago Jimenez. There's been so many players clearly out there. This fan base will call out flipping Tomiyasu as if Jesus ain't injury prone. Why is no one calling for Jesus' head? Why haven't we moved him along? These men will talk about, there's no opportunity. Lookman right now, you're telling me Lookman would not come to Arsenal over Atalanta? You're telling me he wouldn't? And if the answer is no, then this project isn't really that great, is it? Because Mbeumo's not convinced. I mean, Jez, Mbeumo turned us down, bro.
No, I mean, I'm just going to say, I'll just point this point. I mean, and Adam in your chat has come up with a great point. It's the board. But before we get into that, let's say come this Christmas, we're sitting in 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th, because we haven't brought the players in we've needed again. What are we going to do? Are we just going to sit there and like, okay, well, yeah, let's give them to the rest of the season? No, act like a proper club. Sack him and say, you've had your time, you've had your money, now we move on. But the question is then, at Christmas time, let's just say it's Christmas, because that's when he joined us, just before Christmas, wasn't it? Who are we going to get them? Who are we going to get in? Because we need a big time player manager, not some scrub, right? We want a big time manager. And that's when Arsenal Football Club have got to act like a big club. Now, Adam's put a great point. I put a lot of this down. I don't necessarily blame the Cronkies per se, because they have spent a lot of money at this club. They've given money out, 800 plus million pounds. One of the biggest problems is the management of the club in the board. We've got an inept bunch of directors that are just not in the mindset to manage this club. They're not good enough. We haven't got the management we used to have many years ago. They went out the door long before we joined the Emirates. Went to the Emirates, I beg your pardon. And we haven't replaced them with the elite. These people are not the level they should be. And that's going to be a problem. That is a problem for Arsenal Football Club. And for that, I blame the Cronkies, because they've employed people or allowed people on the board which are not the level that they should be for a club of this size. And let's be fair, let's be honest, Arsenal are a big football club. We've done crap for the last 5, 6 years, 7 years, if you like. FA Cup, admittedly, fair enough, I'll go with that. But I saw somebody the other day trying to argue that a Community Shield is a trophy. And this guy was being serious. I thought, are you taking the piss? Are you seriously taking the piss? No, he honestly believed that Arteta has won 3 trophies. And I thought, oh dear God, that is just absolute nonsensical. But this is where we're going to be, people. This is the problem. I don't blame the Cronkies for giving money. They've given money that has been requested. They've allowed it. They've authorised it through the board and all that lot. But if we get to that position at Christmas this year and we're sitting we've gone out of the League Cup again, right? And then we haven't got the team we need. We've got injuries again. Where do we go from there, boys? Where do we do? What do we do? Then the only course of action is to change the manager, bring somebody in, a new voice. As the old saying goes, you know, it sometimes takes a change to make the rest, or the rest is good as a change, whichever way round you want to put it. Because at the end of the day, I think the club needs a revamp. The manager, Arteta, has done probably the best he can do. He's done what he can do, but it's not good enough for a club of this substantial size. First time in his management career, he tried and he did, well, okay. It was the first season when he won the FA Cup with a team that wasn't his. Since then, he's capitulated at every single bloody hurdle. No. If we got proper balls at this football club, or as Kenny likes to say, put your nuts on the table and let's deal with it. Because it's time to change. And personally, if you want my honest opinion, I'd rather do it now before we start the new season and go off with a fresh start. Get somebody that's going to say, right, we're going to revamp, we're going to move on. These are the players we need. These are the people we need to work with. And there we go. Because I'm sorry to have to say it, it's going to be the rinse and repeat again. I have no faith in what this manager can do. It's not personal. I don't know him. I've never met him. I don't want to meet him. But I see from years and years of watching football, this guy's not going to take this club any further. And at the end of the day, you have to say enough is enough. Move on.
I agree. Just so you guys know, this is it's like our embarrassment just continues to prolong. Brentford and Brighton already made 2 signings. Like we're seeing teams just being proactive. Why are they so organized? Why do they know how to get market opportunities? How are these teams moving in the market quickly and we're not? I don't understand. And this is why it doesn't change. Yeah, the biggest myth around this fan base is wait till the summer, and then when we get to the summer, we get the same crap we have in January. Because when it was in January, who could you get? Man City bought a striker. How come they identified Mamouche? Why don't we scout Mamouche? You're telling me Mamouche isn't better than every striker that we've got? Because I think he's a quality player, and I think what they're doing right now when they revamp their midfield, you're going to see even more from him because he was a constant threat. Technically gifted, always got a shot, always working the defenders. I think he's a top striker. I think he's going to become a top striker. He just with a team that was time to phase out. But it's always the same excuses that there's no market opportunity. Why? Look at you're telling me Wirtz isn't better than Odegaard?
Way better. Come on, way better.
Oh my Lord.
But the whole time we've been calling for competition for there's no one better but Odegaard. He's the captain. He's this. He's that. All the time, we're saying that we can't get somebody to compete with Saliba and Gabriel. Well, Real Madrid just bought the Bournemouth centre back. Why don't we go for him? Isn't that a market opportunity? We're in the same league. How do we not scout the best out of our own league? It's the same thing when we had Paulinho. When he went away as well, went to Bayern. Do you know what I'm saying? We could have went in, but do you know what we do? Drag our feet, take our time, drag our feet. And then we talk about market opportunities. There's always market opportunities. Why don't we go out there and get them over the line? Bro, we used to go to Barcelona's academy. We tried to sign Messi. Cool. We didn't get Messi. We left with Fabregas though. Yep. We left with Fabregas. You know what I mean? And last time I checked, that academy has still got ballers. Why don't we go in the academy and see any of the players that they weren't given an opportunity for when they got all that big money, that Neymar money, and they were buying superstars? Why didn't we do that? Because it worked for us in the past. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what offside? Do you know
Man United got PK as well, bro. Even Man United were going into La Masia. La Masia has been balling for time. Why didn't we go in there? Why? Can anyone explain to me why? Because people want to talk about market opportunities, bro. As if we can't scout players. Last time I checked, Wenger didn't bring players through, breaking transfer records every time he was able to identify ballers, bro. And with his budget, with the small budget, even when we're paying off the stadium, we're still identifying better players that we identify right now.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, Wenger used to get bad. Wenger used to bring a chance. But no offside. Can I ask the panel a question? Would you be happy? Like, say for instance, we don't get Gyökeres or we get Sesko. But would you be happy if we get Sesko, Ollie Watkins, and Eze?
I'll be happy for
Eze. To me is the baddest. He is better than Saka to me. Eze is bad, bro. Do you know why he don't get? Do you know why he don't get the recognition? Because he plays for Palace. But you see what he did in the final, innit? You see what he did all through, bro. When a man can do that, handle that heat, playing for the team that's not even worth 100 million, and go and do that, bro. That man deserves to be in Arsenal. Because whether Eze to me,
he's been doing that for 2 seasons, man.
I agree with you. That boy there. If we don't get, I want Eze. I don't care about Zubimendi. Like I can see Hussam laughing in it, and you know Hussam says something, and all the time about Zubimendi. He plays around. He laughs at people. He's right. There's a saying in Arabic: "Go to hell." That's what he says to him. But I think we should get Eze, man. Honestly, Eze for me is.
Elise as well. I mean, look, he's got the Bayern Munich. He's won himself a title. There was opportunities there, but we just seem to just miss out and we just go for the
He'll elevate a team in on his own. Eze will elevate a team. I think I just think Arsenal are mad, not just like you know all this flair, like this flary business, bro. We're not. I'll be honest with you. We get to Zubimendi, you're playing like we need to be honest. A football fan. What do they do with Real Sociedad?
Play the ball sideways.
Real Sociedad, whatever they call it. What they do in Spain, Zubimendi,
Sociedad, yeah.
Sociedad, whatever they call it. That what they do in Spain. Him, Marino. What do you do? Like, come on, Arsenal fans. Like me, look, I'm not a negative fan, but ask yourself that question. Like, if you're a positive fan and you love Arteta and you love Arsenal, go and see what he did in Spain. They did nothing. So what makes you think that midfield's going to come and hit the ground running at Arsenal? That's why I want Eze. Like, I hope they get Eze, because Eze to me will be like when Martin Odegaard's having a stinker. But that's why I don't think. That's why, like, I don't want to sound negative, but that's why I do agree with Jez. If he don't, and also, if he doesn't change things, like, how can you have the captain who played all season for 38 games, and in 36 games he played shit, and the 2 games he played good against, they're playing championship football. Like, you're going into that season. Is that a captain material who's going to get you across the line? Like, so I think he should be stripped myself and give it to Declan Rice. That's a start there. But it's not going to happen.
You've got to get through Arteta for that.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why we're looking at Zubimendi when you could pay an extra 10 million. You're going to get Eze.
Not only Eze, he could also go for Adam Warren. Those 2 players from Crystal Palace, you can get both of them.
What about Baleba from Brighton?
Baleba as well. That's an option for
Zubimendi, I'm telling you, Arsenal fans, but I'll be honest with you. This guy's bringing all these Spanish players.
Get players that know the league. Get players that know the league.
He's a bad boy player, man. Jim, and I just don't. If they bring in Zubimendi, it doesn't matter which striker you bring in, because your midfield's going to get overrun next season. You know, look at Liverpool, for instance. They're bringing in Frimpong, they're bringing in, and you're talking about bringing in this donut.
There's also no creativity if he brings Zubimendi. It's mostly control. That's, of course, what Arteta wants, control. He don't want to take risks. That's basically his whole playing style.
But controlling games gives you more draw. When you're in controlling games, 90% of the time, you draw them anyway.
Yep.
You hear what Petit said on TalkSport today? I think it dropped, like, the video dropped like a couple of hours ago. Petit was saying about how well Enrique managed Dembele. You know, he had a really bad injury record at Barca, and he told him, he said, if you don't fix up, we're going to get you the best dietitians, we're going to get you people that understand football, you're going to have your time for recovery, you're going to have to go eat certain foods, and since then he's had no injuries. I think that PSG team had no injuries all season. How can you win everything and not have no injuries? And it's because he was rotating his squad, and then but he kept the same squad that he would play for the big games. He had continuity with that, but he would rotate the squad. He had a squad that he knew could implement the same style and were competitive. And he was able to manage his squad with a young team. And he said Arteta won't win anything because he constantly complains about injuries to his starting 11. He doesn't have a team here. It's the same old players. And he doesn't approach every game like a cup final. Petit said you have to approach every game like a cup, and it's true. That's how you win a league title. Every game's there's no free hit. There's no, but it's a good point. Oh, it's a hard place to go to. You have to play every game like it's a cup final. And when Pep came to the league and started going on these ridiculous runs, and Klopp was going on these ridiculous runs, you couldn't do anymore what Mourinho used to do. You know, Mourinho had that, one thing we don't lose. But we can have a couple of draws. We can have a string of draws. Why did Arsenal not win the league this season? Numerous reasons, but too many draws. It was actually because we had too many draws. It's not that we had loads and loads of losses. Too many.
We lost the same amount of games as Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm saying. So how is Petit, a World Cup winner? How is he sitting there and saying, "Yo, this is why"? He goes, "I don't see this team winning anything. The manager's too predictable, and he doesn't know how to handle these players." How is an injury-prone Dembele that they gave up with in Barcelona? How is he all of a sudden performing? How?
Do you see what he did? Do you see what he did? No offside. You see what Luis Enrique did, didn't he? He dropped him to do it. And they had a fallout. And Enrique said to him, "Are you ready to man up?" And he said, "Yeah, you're right, Gaffer. I feel." Did you know that they had a fallout? And the man told him, "You ready to man up?" And he's look how he played for Luis Enrique. The man dropped him. Can you see that happening to Saka?
No.
Saka can walk around the pitch. That's what I'm saying. Saka can walk around the pitch for 90 minutes. Him and Martin Odegaard, especially Martin Odegaard, because you know what, Havertz. I know people give him a hard time, but at least he runs around and he tries. But Martin Odegaard,
And have you seen that we're linked to Barcola as well?
Oh hell no. Oh
Bro,
hell no.
he's good for the French league, yeah, but they're rotating for a reason, bro. Like, if you're telling me Doué, you're telling me Dembele, you're telling me Kvaratskhelia, cool. There's a reason they went and got Kvaratskhelia, innit? And this guy's on rotation. There's a reason.
oh yeah, he's levels, mini bro.
But you know what it is as
He's
well?
level?
Yeah? Barcola looks great, yeah, because the system's great. Like, he's not an individual that I think is excellent. I think he misses a lot of opportunities, but he gets into good places because of the system.
Did
Kind
you
of
see
like
the opportunities he
kinda
missed
like
at the
Sterling
finals?
at City. Huh?
Did you see the opportunities he missed at the finals, bro? You want that? No. Nah. Absolutely not. They
But
might as well keep Sterling.
he probably has more end product than Martinelli and Nico Williams. I mean, you know what I mean? If you're looking at that left-hand side, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with that left-hand side, because that side has been neglected. And if we are linked with this Barcola guy, yeah, I know, yeah.
He's better than Nico Williams, though. Barcola. I'll take him over Nico Williams.
Yeah.
That's telling me
I'm not
much.
convinced.
I think, if you're gonna get Nico Williams, I'd rather you go down the Premiership peck order and see who's the wing. Do you know what? I'm not even joking. I'd even take that Man United player. What's his name? That Nakiacho guy.
Garnacho?
You know,
Garnacho.
the guy
That's
Nacho.
even
Yeah,
worse.
I'd rather take him over Williams, though.
No.
I'm telling you, bro. That's how much I don't rate Williams.
No.
No.
I'm telling you, Williams ain't a player who's going to get asked across the line, bro. Look, he got Man United to the final, bro. He couldn't do it in his own ground, bro. They went there and won 4-0, bro. You think I want a player of that caliber to come to my club? I'd rather take him. It's the truth, though.
I mean, Nico Williams is sorting out his deal with what's the name? So let him sort it out.
I'll check this out. You know Nico Williams? Remember they said about he's demanding high wages? I just think he doesn't want to go to Arsenal. He's not like he's demanding high wages. He's not interested. He's going to Barcelona.
Man said
He's going to Barcelona.
Garnacho.
What about Lookman?
I'll take
Lookman. I'll take Lookman.
Lookman, yeah.
This Williams guy is all this Nico Williams. He scored 1 goal in the game, and I like thinking and everyone crazy about it. It's like Marino. He scored 1 header against Germany. Everyone crazy about it. That's the truth about it. That's why we started.
Natural, bro. I can't even lie, bro. That's one of the top 5 most shameless things you've ever said. I can't lie.
Garnacho.
I'd rather him over Nico Williams, bro.
And you
No.
and you're the vending machine of shameless. I can't even lie, bro.
No, bro. I don't rate him. At least this guy can score in the Premier League. This guy don't do much in Spain, bro. He scored how many 3 goals all season?
Okay, then we might as well get Mitoma from Brighton if he's in Premier League, he's a Premier League player.
Yeah, bro, I'll bring him. I don't want Nico Williams. I don't rate him at all.
I'm not saying Nico Williams is all that, yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you're going to go to that caliber, you see how he played against Man United. The man looked like he wasn't even a footballer. Like, he didn't even look like he could do anything. And you got him outshining him in the semi-finals. I'll take him over Nicky Williams. I tell you now, Nicky Williams, if he comes to Arsenal, and let me tell you something about Northside. If he does come to Arsenal and he plays shit and he has a big meltdown, remember who told you so. And I don't want you to be shameless and crying about it, because I'm telling you now, before you take your antibiotics, this guy, Nicky Williams, is absolutely going to give you 55 heart attacks a night, 25 paracetamols a night, 45 cans of Guinness, 65 little things you
I
drink.
didn't even bring up Nico Williams. You did.
No, I'm just telling you. That's how bad he is.
The guy.
He can go to Barca.
I'm giving you the thumbs up. I'd rather take
when he comes and I ain't even said nothing about my guy.
No, I'm just saying all the Arsenal fans. So I don't want to hear the meltdown if he does come, because he is worse. I told you. I will even take Sancho before him.
Yeah, I ain't heard good things about. I ain't watch him on a consistent basis. I ain't heard good things about him, but It's just one of them ones. This is what we do. This is what we do. And then the fan base get into conversations about, would you want Garnacho over Nico? How about just go get us a quality winger? Go get Mbeumo, go get flipping Lookman. How about that? Why
I
do you
agree
always
with
have to
offside.
decide
I
out
agree.
of
That's what I agree. I agree with that statement. I agree. But I'm just saying, Nico Williams, when people are bigging him up, bro, he ain't no better than what's in the Premier League. That's the truth.
There are players better than him, yeah, but Garnacho's not one of them.
He is, bro. I'll take Garnacho over him, man.
I don't know, man. I don't even. I mean, what do you guys think, Jez? Who do you think we end up like? But what? How many players do you think we end up buying, and what position?
I think we'll probably get a maximum of 3. I'm hoping we'll get a striker. We need a striker. Look, come on. It's been proven for 3 seasons now. And if this manager or management team can't see that, then they're blind and they're being arrogant in the fact of, well, I'm going to do it my way. I don't need a striker. Well, let's be honest. Yeah, we could have been potentially a final this season, 2 finals actually.
Yep.
But we didn't do it because we didn't have the right personnel. So, yeah, if Partey goes out the door on a free, then we need to replace him. Big up, because I like Partey myself personally. So we need to replace him. I'm not too concerned in the keeper situation. As long as Rayo's okay, the Neto can jump in as and when. But it is a risky game, of course. Of course it is. We need a right winger. We need that. We can't again go a whole season of pushing Saka to the limits. We've lost, in my opinion, our best left back at the club in Tierney. He's gone. That's just my personal opinion. There is clearly something that didn't work between him and Arteta. Maybe it's because Arteta likes left backs to go inverted with, Zinchenko. But no. You look at that squad. There's less than 30 players in there. Yeah, I before the end of the season ended, I was chatting about the final days of George Graham. We had 35 players that he could rotate with. We ain't got that. So I think, to answer your question, Northside, I think we'd probably get 3 max, which is not enough. We need at least 5 minimum, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
Okay.
But will we get it over the line? I don't have a lot of confidence in this management team. And I'm quoting management team. I'm not putting it down to Arteta. I'm not putting it down to Berta. I'm putting it down as a management team because they all work together.
They need to align themselves.
Yep, great point.
At the start.
Great point. Right. They do.
Okay, line up.
We do astronomy out here. You do these star signs. What's your star sign? What's the star sign?
Don't worry, guys. We're that close, guys. I get goosebumps,
Oh my
I
God.
can feel it, guys.
Horoscope FC, man. My mum used to go on Sky and look at the horoscope, and she'd, you'll never guess what's happening to your dad. You know what I mean? And the horoscopes. That's the only time I heard the stars were aligning. When my mum was looking at the horoscopes on Sky, bro. You know what I'm saying? But my mum would get the job done because whatever she, you know what I mean? She actually got to the, the process.
One thing I'll say, I don't want to hear any more bullshit from this manager about pickpocketing, squeezing blood lemons, and all that crap. Right? Stick to your job as a manager, coach, whatever you want to call yourself, and do your fucking job. You're getting £15 million a year. Do your job. Forget about going to Waitrose and buying a load of bloody lemons and giving it to the players, and they're going to sit there and think, what kind of prick is this? Seriously. If I was one of them players, right, I'd be thinking, what kind of an arsewipe of manager is this? He's giving me a lemon, and he's going to teach me how to squeeze it.
Out there in France, Jess. Must be a Fanta Limon.
I mean, what would you think? Come on. Yeah, you're sat in the Emirates change. You're sat at London Colney. Come on. He brings in a big string bag full of bloody lemons and gives you a lemon and says, I'm going to show you how to squeeze the best out of a lemon. Righto. Thank you very much.
Gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Jess? So it is, man. That's the process. You know, it's versatility. I want to ask, yeah, enough for the jokes. I want to ask all of you guys, and I want to ask all of you guys in your opinion. Chelsea, a club that, as much as its fan base chat shit about, a club that continuously lifts trophies, a club that Arsenal fans for the longest said, we don't want to be like Chelsea, we don't want to be like Chelsea. Do you know what? Chelsea don't get bullied in the transfer window. They don't get bullied. Sancho, they have said to Sancho, we will not sign you. He wanted 300k. If it was Arsenal, we'll throw the bag. We'll be begging him to stay. 300k Sancho wanted. They said, Sancho, you've had a couple of good games, but ultimately you're not a 300k a week player. They will take the £5 million hit to Man United and said, your problem, not my problem. You know what I mean? And that's what they done. That's how they move serious. You know what I mean? And you know what? Yeah, big up to Chelsea, because you guys move serious, man. No matter what people want to say about Chelsea, yeah, they move serious. When they want to move serious, they move serious. Yeah, and at the end of the day, Sancho, I don't believe is worth 300k. I think he's a very talented player. I think his link-up play is very good. But I think when he gets into the final third, a lot of shots go wayward. I don't think he ain't got that killer instinct in front of goal. And the way that they've built their attack, I don't feel like he gets the best out of the attackers. There's been a couple of times where he linked up okay with Jackson, but ultimately, I just don't really think it works for Chelsea. They need a goal-scoring winger, especially the fact that Jackson is very hit and miss. And yeah, we've already seen what Jackson's about. At Arsenal, would I take Jadon Sancho? I'm going to ask you guys. At 300k for me, at 300k a week, held to the no. If he cuts that down to like 90k a week and he's the second choice, then we can have a conversation at 90k a week.
Who would he be second choice over? No side. Who would he be second choice over?
I'm definitely going for Lookman. I'm definitely going for Mbeumo as other wingers that for us to bring in. And you can bring in Sancho to link in. If we go and get Gyökeres, which we know we're not going to get, then Sancho would be good at finding Gyökeres and linking up play with him. And if we get a proper number 10, linking up play with him as well and bringing, you bring him on as, okay, when we need someone to just link up and if we're not finding the striker, you've got another outlet. You don't just have the number 10, but you've got Sancho on the left. You've also got Skelly that can dribble, is a good passer as well, that can link up play. And in certain games, it can work. As a number one and at 300k, for me, not worth the price tag. Not for me.
He's not worth 300k. I could agree with more, bro. I won't pay.
But at 90k, I'll take Sancho.
I wouldn't even pay him 90k, bro. Like Chelsea, right?
Link up play is better than Martinelli. Yeah, he can actually read the game in terms of in the final third. The only thing he doesn't have, which is why I'd want a goal scoring winger, another left wing goal scoring winger, is he just doesn't have that consistency in front of goal.
Do you know one player people ain't talking about? But he's available. He's definitely going to be in the market, and he's definitely in the mix, and he's definitely on sale. Jack Grealish. Pep's come out and confirmed it. He's gone.
I'll take Grealish.
He'll probably go Newcastle.
But I'm just saying, like, and they're asking the price of Jack Grealish. If people are saying 60, they're talking 45 million or 40 million.
I'll take.
They want him gone. That's and so that's what I'm saying. So like people don't know like the situations at the club.
Is he an Arsenal? Is he an Arsenal player?
At the 10, yeah. At the 10, yeah.
I think Jack Grealish would have happy over some of the players we got.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, 100.
But if we let him play though, because I felt like
that's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking out Arteta. The way Arteta,
the way he played at Villa, the way he played at Villa, Jack Grealish, without the shackles of you have to play within certain parameters of the pitch. Jack Grealish was cold. Like the way he was cooking by himself at Villa, that version of Jack Grealish, and we allow him to do that. I feel like he's cold. With Pep,
he's sick, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like
he limits himself, like because of Pep limiting him within the system.
Pep, yeah. But
But then Arteta does that shit. But then Arteta does that shit as well.
No, but I think he's a name. He's a frame that no one's mentioning. And listen, it won't surprise me one bit if Arsenal gets him. If he's a cheap deal, they'll get him. Because Pep's not one of them ones. You know Pep Guardiola, he said it when he first come to Man City. If a player wants to leave to any team, I won't step in their way. And he stuck to his guns with that. He does not step in their way. He's like, don't sell it to him. If you want to go Arsenal, go buy. You want to go Man United, go buy. If you want to go to Chelsea, go buy. You want to go to Liverpool, go buy. He will not stand in their way. And fair dues, he's been like that. So Jack Grealish is in the market, available. They've come out and said he's going. I won't be surprised if Arsenal gets him, but
you know what it is, though, guys. It's just I understand he's a good player, talented player, and all that, but it's just that whole thing of getting another Man City. You know what I mean? It's like he hasn't worked in Man City. Now he's going to come to Arsenal, and do you know what I mean? We've had Jesus, we've had Bart Simpson, and it hasn't quite worked out with them. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to. And as Northside was saying, he comes into Arteta's system, and Arteta's system for me. Pep doesn't.
I don't get. Listen, me personally, innit? I don't get like I was saying this Tamati the other day. It ain't about. Listen, it ain't about Arteta no more. If Josh Kroenke if Josh Kroenke had any common sense, and Berto want to go Gyökeres, Josh Kroenke should say, "You're in charge. You're the man." Josh Kroenke should turn around and say, "I pay you £15, 15 million a year. Make it work."
It should be £15, not 15 million.
Yeah. But do you know what I'm saying, kid? Do you see what I'm saying? Him is an owner. If the support director gets Gyökeres, for instance, they get Gyökeres, he should turn around and say to Berta, "Make it work." And then your Berta goes to tell Arteta, "You get paid £50 million, make it work." Because you can't listen, it's all good paying a manager £15 million, but then he's saying it's got to do it all what suits me. But it hasn't worked for 4 years. So now Josh Kroenke's got to do a job. It ain't just all about Bert, it's about the owners too. They got to do a job. If they're gonna invest the money, invest it and make sure he does the job. Because you're paying him to do that job. You can't be picking and choosing, "Oh, this guy might suit my system." Because it hasn't worked for since you've been here. We've been second. So now's the time where the sport director comes in, Josh Kroenke grows a pair and says, "I pay you £50 million a year, do your job." But I won't be surprised if Jack, on my last note, North side, Jez, Norman, my brother from America, I will not be surprised if we get Jack Grealish.
No, but do you know what? I just looked at his wages. If Capology's correct, he's on 300k a week. I'm not doing a deal for 300k a week. I'm not gonna lie.
Nope.
Who's that?
Okay.
Jack Grealish.
Grealish.
He's gonna take a pay cut.
I don't know about that.
It's got to be a big pay cut, bro. It's got to be a big pay cut.
He'll take a pay cut, bro. Yo, bro, they all do.
I'll put him on max 120, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Come forward
120. Yeah, because you know what I'd say. Yeah, do you know what I'd say? I'd use the fact that it's like, "Yo, Jack, like for the last 2 years, you ain't been all that." You know what I mean? Like, I know he's got the potential, but it's like, "Yo, and you need to give these players something to work towards." Be like, "Yo, your next one could be," you know what I mean? But your value in the market has gone down, which it has. You know what I mean?
What about that?
So
Jack
that's where we got to be smart. But we need to look at the name and then throw the bag, like we did with Peter Cech and David Luiz and Willie, and we just see the name and we just throw the bag, and it's like, nah. Like you got to use things to your advantage. Like, come on, bro. Like last season, you got 1 goal, 1 assist in the Prem in 20 appearances. I'm not paying you 300k a week. Are you mad?
Don't want any more rejects. I've had enough of that. Right? Let's be proactive as a proper big football club and go out and get the real players we need.
Is he?
Look, come on. Sterling last year. What a waste of time. Who the hell made that decision? I don't know if that was Edu or Garlic Head or bloody Arteta. The guy was a scrub. It was a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. Paying him all that money. Well, we only paid, what is it, a third of his salary? Something like that. But come on. This is Arsenal Football Club, man. And we're going down this road now. We have to rely on getting has-beens. No. be proactive, show people that we are actually a proper bloody football club, and we can once again get proper players in. But this goes back to what I said over a season and a half ago. How many top players want to come and play for our team? That's
Not
the
much.
thing. You have to have an attraction to come to a club. Now, we've proven to get players that are not necessarily good enough. We have to give them silly money to come to Arsenal because we don't have that magnet. We don't have that attraction that we once did have. And therefore, it's a problem. How many people, let's be honest, come on. How many top, and I mean top level players want to come and play for Arteta? He ain't done nothing. He's failed at nearly every bloody hurdle. So these players are thinking, well, why do I want to come and play for you? What attracts me to you? Well,
That's the truth.
if you're going to give me 350,000 a week, I don't give a shit. I'll come and play for you. That is what Arsenal do. You do that. Come on, guys. Yeah, you might love the jobs you're all in and thinking, fucking brilliant, love it. Love my manager, really having a good time here, working well, love the guys I work with. But them down the road are offering me twice the money. Wow. But I've heard the management are a bit of arsewipes, but they give me twice the money. I'll give it a go. Money talks. Come on, people. Money talks.
That's basically mercenaries, like you're saying. So they're not coming for the club because the club is, because it's Arsenal. They come in just because they get paid well. You don't want those type of players.
No, of course you don't. That is exactly the point I'm trying to make. If you get top players that have said Arsenal, yeah, they got a manager who's going somewhere. This guy could be, a proper leader. He could win big stuff, and I could win big stuff. I could win silverware. I could get medals and all this. But we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen it. It's 5 years in, and we haven't seen it. And I don't see a lot of promise yet. So, sort of gives you the answer, doesn't it? Really.
I think Arsenal's got a problem too, Jez, with trying to keep players like Saliba, Saka, even David, even Raya, maybe I know Gabriel signed a contract, but it's you can sign a contract, but as soon as you start performing, Jeremy, it's like when you go to the Emirates Stadium. Sometimes it feels like when you see Vieira lifting up the title, it feels like it was 72 years ago. Because all the little fans there.
Because Nomsi's got a goal. Sorry, bro.
Guys, listen. Big up to the panel. Big up. Nice to meet you, Fred, for the first time.
Yes, my brother.
Nice to meet you, bro. Big up to Jez, man. Enjoy yourself out in France. Northside. Big up to you. Big up, Devontae. Big up to the panel, everybody. I'm on show tomorrow, 6:30. What's Going On podcast. We'll be talking about transfers and everything. So
shout your channel name, bro.
Normski TV. Big up. And listen, get me off of 666 because that's what I'm on at the moment. The subs. All right, we'll take care, yeah?
Big up Nomski, man. Everyone's channel links is in the pin comment, man. Big up Nomski. Make sure you're subscribing to Nomski, man. Good guy. Make sure you're subscribing. Before we wrap up, and subscribe to, like I said, subscribe to everyone. Everyone's link to their channel is in the pin comment. Devontae, who do you think we're gonna end up getting this window, bro?
Well, definitely Sesko. That's for sure. The second player, I have no clue. Because if Zubimendi's not coming, then they're either going to try their hardest to keep Party here. Because I've seen links with Party going to Barcelona on the free. And that'll be a good signing for them. A depth for them. I think it's going to be Sesko only. Because I haven't seen many names where the club is linked to. It's either Sesko, Gyökeres, or Zubimendi. And then sometimes Nico Williams. But it feels like they strayed away from Nico Williams a little bit. So I'm only convinced that it's going to be Sesko. And then it's going to be Zubimendi and nobody else. And when that's not going through, then yeah, just Sesko. Then you're just stuck with Sesko for the rest of the season, or they're gonna get a panic sign like last season with Sterling, right? Because the fans were crying out for an attacker. Well, a quality attacker there is because they got Sterling, and that's not quality. And as far as they're also in chase for a goalkeeper, they wanted Juan Garcia from Espanyol, but he's looking like he's going to Barcelona. I think they're
Agreed.
close to getting him. Yeah, they're very
agreed,
close to
yeah,
getting him
yeah.
because they want Ter Pagan out, which they should because I don't like Ter Stegen. I'm not really a fan of him. But yeah, so now you also have a goalkeeper problem because Neto was on loan.
He's gone.
Now you only have one goalkeeper, so you only have Deverea. So I think they're also going to look for a goalkeeper now. Kelleher went to Brentford now, so that was the cheapest option that you had to get as a backup goalkeeper. Now you have to look for another guy to loan. Who? Robert Sanchez, probably another Chelsea reject. I feel like there's something like that's going to happen if Chelsea gets Mike Maignan from AC Milan because they're linked to him as well. If they get him, then they're probably going to like get another Chelsea reject. And as far as Sesko is concerned, all I'm saying is, I'm not convinced. If that's your striker, right? Well, not because I know Havertz is going to be shoehorned to the lineup. He's going to start regardless. So Sesko's for the bench. But that is a striker that you're coming into with phase 5 after 3 years of being in the title challenge, right? Ended up second for 3 years in a row. So you're coming up with Sesko. And I know the fan bases, most of them are already going to say, oh yeah, but when we got Thierry Henry, like he was also, first of all, do you know who the striking force was when Thierry Henry came to Arsenal? Bergkamp won, and Schuker. A lot of people forget about Davor Schuker. He was already a proven striker. When that didn't work, and Henry started to get more game time, yes, then when he scored 25 goals. So sometimes a talent can blow up, right? And sometimes not. But Sesko has not proven that. Sesko has not a track record. I've seen him last year at the Euros against Portugal. He played against you, Slovenia, Portugal. He didn't do nothing. And that Portugal team was not good. Yep. Not good at all. So if that's the guy that you're going to come with and say, oh, yeah, he's going to help us bag in the goals, good luck. Because there's no creativity for as far because if you're not going to get an Eze, right, like Fuad is saying, then who's going to be the creative spark? Nwaneri barely gets any minutes. And I don't trust him to get more minutes next season either because you don't trust him. It's shaky.
Mm-hmm. It's mad, bro. It's mad. Go on forward, and then after I'll get into the super chats. Who do you think Arsenal end up getting, bro?
I think they'll definitely get. I think Seko's done. That's done. I think he's already an Arsenal player. It's just a matter of time where they're going to announce it, where they're gonna bring it out. I hope they get. I think they're going to bring in players. I hope they get Eze. I swear down. I hope Arteta or whoever's Berta. I hope they just get Eze because that's the kind of player we need. Because we're not going to do anything with just Seco like Seco. Even if you get Gyökeres, it's still a risk. Do you get me? It's still a risk because everyone's like, "Oh, he signed in Gyökeres, we're going to win the league." It don't work like that. So I hope they bring in Gyökeres. I hope they bring in both of them, and I hope they bring in Eze. I think they're going to bring in players, and I hope they buy a cheap 7 minute, 8, or go to the Championship and see a good keeper and just put him on the bench because there's got to be someone there who's going to be good enough to sit on our bench. But I think they're going to bring about 2 players in. But I just hope instead of Zubimendi, I hope they bring in Eze. I do. I really think Eze would be the answer. People say, "Oh, what do you mean?" Like, if Saka ain't bringing up, take him off, put Eze there. If what's his name's not playing up, Martin Odegaard, take him off and keep him on the bench for the rest of the season and keep Eze there. Like, come on, you've seen what he did Man City. Like, it's not rocket science. Any team that gets him, they're gonna fly up the table. Man United, because Man United, everyone's like they got Cunha, they get Eze, and look at the teams around us, bro. Like, you know me, Northside. I've been positive. I'm gonna keep it straight now, real. There's no difference between Arsenal, Chelsea, Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest, and Newcastle United. There's not. It's only 5 points. Like Liverpool, yeah, we finished 10 points behind them, but Liverpool won the league in April, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? So we need to be Arsenal fans. Like, I know got to be realistic, boys. Like, you need to get it right this window. And I think Eze is a Premiership established player, and they should get it. So I hope they bring in. I think they're going to bring in 3 players or 4.
Yeah, I think majority, if not all the players all of us have named, is realistic for Arsenal to get. We're not asking the club to go to Real Madrid and pick their best player or go to Barcelona and get Yamal. We're asking you to get players that are clubs that we could attract if we were serious, if we were moving serious. But the club doesn't want to. The funds are there available as well. So it's one of them ones, man. Big up to G Money for the super chat. Big up Northside, Jez the G and the panel. Big up to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Big up to Adam as well, gifting memberships. Big up to you, bro. Very kind of you. Big up, big up, big up, big up. T.Guna as well. Big up to you for the super chat. If you are dating a girl and you take her out on 5 dates, do you wait 5 more dates to get a kiss? I don't move like that. You know what I'm saying? I get
that. My fiance, we kiss on the first date, and I was together for 3 years. Go for more.
If I've gone out on 5 dates spending cash, man, I want a lot more than just a kiss, man. That's how it works my day.
The panel get the job done. That's what we do. You know what I mean? We're not in negotiations. We're not monitoring. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we're doing. So big up to T.Guna, man. Big up for the super chat as well. And C, big up to you. Chelsea saw Sanchez as a long-term keeper, but as soon as a market opportunity became available for world-class goalkeeper, they're pulling the trigger. Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. Your club looked for solutions, not excuses. Like when you were signing players onto really long deals to try and get ways around the system. Arsenal, we're not proactive like that. We look for a comfortable excuse and we run with the excuse, whether it's VAR, whether it's oil money, clubs, whether it's, there's no market opportunity. You know what I mean? And that's why this club is full of losers now, because we're just too comfortable doing the bare minimum. And we like nostalgia. I saw Ian Wright was, I think he did an interview. I didn't actually watch it, but he did an interview with Ethan and Skelly. That is all to pull our heartstrings. That's all to say, well, Ian Wright, look at Ian Wright. Yeah, they're going to be world class next season. This is all diversion. It's all diversion from the embarrassment that we faced this season, because we faced a lot of embarrassments this season.
I don't listen to you.
All due respect, all due respect. Listen, I like Skelly. I like Ethan. I'm not going to say a bad word about them because I actually think they're very talented players. But why is it that we keep doing this propaganda thing? Oh, look at the youngsters. Look at this. Oh, Ian Wright's going to come out. Look at it's all diversion tactics. Look at all the new merch. Look at the new kit. I don't give a shit. The team is not ready to win a major honor. That is what I care about. Where is the signings? If this club talks a lot of shit about the fans. Oh, we want to do this for the fans, Well, the majority of the fans have been backing this process. The majority of the fans have been buying merch every season. They've been buying season tickets. Where is the reward for the fans if you care so much about the fans? Do you care that North London, every Arsenal fan that does live in North London has had to see Spurs parading the Europa League around the whole of North London? Do you care about that? Because some Arsenal fans live in Tottenham, some live in Islington, but they still got to see it everywhere. I've seen so many Tottenham fans out and about just with their shirts because they're proud that their team won a trophy. Is this club hurt? Is this club upset? Like, we're upset to see them lifting that, and then to see Chelsea win the Conference League. After this fan base was clowning, oh, you spent 1.5 billion. Well, guess what? They're still winning trophies. They're still winning trophies. And what are we doing? We're trusting the process that has led to absolutely nothing. I wonder if this club is upset. I wonder if this club is hurt. This club is not hurt, Fuad. They're not hurt, bro. It doesn't hurt them. Because even the fan base came out and said, but has Tottenham have a better season than us because we made £100 million profit or £200 million profit?
Oh, that's all clickbait, bro. They don't mean it, bro.
Bro. They run with these clickbait narratives, though. Don't act like this fan base don't.
Mean it.
When it's stupid. 1 second, I'll let you go. When the media say, but the referees are reffing Arsenal differently, the fan base runs with it. When they say that we can't compete with teams like Man City, the fan base run with it. When they say Arsenal have had so many injuries this season, the fan base run with it as if we're the only team that's run with it. When Mikel Arteta comes out and says every other team that gets injuries like us, they would crumble, the fan base runs with it. Not when Liverpool last season, when they had a load of injuries, they played their kids in the final against Chelsea and won the cup. They played the kids and they won the cup. What do? Comfortable excuse. Everybody else would collapse. Bullshit. It's bullshit, bro. And this is the thing. So when you tell me it's clickbait, this fan base love to grab onto any clickbait bullshit that it's a comfortable lie that allows them to continue with this narrative of continuing the manager in the job. So it's easy for you to say, yeah, it's clickbait. We know it's clickbait, but the fan base believe it.
Well, I got a message for the fan base then, innit? If they believe this, believe it's all right. Why don't they? Let's see the fan base. Why don't we go down the Emirates Stadium, see all the pictures of Henry Vieira, take them all off, put a picture of Mikel Arteta, then get another picture of Win and a light bulb next to him, and go support it then. No, seriously, I'm on a real note. Because if you don't support the football club, do you get me? Go then make it into an RSPCA football club.
But it's true, though.
Do you get me, bro? I'm a charity man because you know these same fans, all right, used to come on here, and listen. I have never agreed much with Northside, and I don't agree much with Jez. I've never agreed much with Lee, and they know that because I used to. They've always called me the opposite side. However, when people these Arsenal fans are coming over the top, and like, oh, go down the lane. Well, the lane got a trophy. You get me? Now, what's the next excuse? Like you got to understand that we've seen Vieira lift the title. We've seen people like Henry and Vieira win a title. When
they don't respect Henry, they cussed Henry the other day.
But people got to understand. Let's talk about thing. When Arsenal won unbeaten, how many injuries did Arsenal have? In it, Jez, remember? No Gilberto, Silva, no Petit. No Jose Antonio Reyes was out at one point. There was no Perez. There was no Sol Campbell. Coro Torre was in. How many players were injured in last season? And you're talking about this little bum, and that's what I don't like about Arteta and Ian Wright, and that's what I like about Henry. Injuries. Vieira and Henry were the only two key players who stayed fit all season, and they still went on to win the league unbeaten. But people don't. You don't see that, and that's why when people disrespect Henry. Well, stop celebrating Henry's title. Don't celebrate the 14 league titles we got because that was nothing to do with Arteta. Celebrate the dog he bought for the thing and celebrate Win. Go to your house. Go. All these fans who will live with him. Go to your house, buy Win, and celebrate that and start jumping in the house and lift your armpits. Because don't disrespect the man. It's true though. Don't ever disrespect Henry, the man who come out and won us a title single-handedly. You didn't see Henry feel sorry for himself. You didn't see Vieira. It's like when we were in Old Trafford. We had no players. In 2002, bro, Wiltor never felt sorry for himself. Jamie, so when it comes to all these injuries, it's bullshit, bro. Because how many injuries did we have when we won league titles? We had loads. We had even more. Jamie, Gilberto was out for the season. He was our best defensive midfielder, and we still won the league. But when you had and I hope the young fan base can understand this. When a player ain't performing, call him out. Because you know when now in 5 years' time, when you mature a little bit now, it's like these kids were all 10. Now, the 16-year-olds who trust the process, how old are they all now? They're all 22, 21. Now, these kids who are 16 after there's been there for 6 years, haven't seen Arsenal win nothing. It will change when that generation flips, he'll be gone. But that young generation, just wake up and educate yourselves. Go and see the past, what Arsenal built up. Arteta, before Arteta got the job, and after Arteta, Arsenal will continue. Regardless. That's what I mean. If he gets sacked tomorrow, I'm all for it. Because I'm an Arsenal fan. If Arteta stays or goes, but I think it's his last season. That's my opinion. I think this is his last season offside. That's my opinion.
To add to your point, what you said, the fan base nowadays, and I find it really funny that the Arsenal fan base is probably the most disrespectful fan base towards their own history. I really find it very funny that the Arsenal fan base is that way towards their own history. Yet the cup that they always like to brag about. Oh, it's yours gold, it's yours gold. Who won that? The guy that you slander, right? Henri. He was in front of that. So if you say, okay, yeah, fuck Henri because he's jealous or whatever, why are you the first in line to celebrate the It's Yours Gold trophy? Oh yeah, invisible this, invisible that, invisible this. Yet, as a matter of fact, I find it funny that that's the only title that gets celebrated at this fan base. What about 98? What about 1989 and the years that like Jess saw? Those years that like, what about those years? They never get like hyped up. It's always 2004, and that everything that comes before that is gets swept under the rug. I find it so disrespectful to the players that give their heart, their blood, sweat, and tears to this club. Players have died for this club, like Rocastle. Rocastle died for this club. Yet he barely gets celebrated. He barely gets celebrated. Meanwhile, he was up front for the 1989 title, and you could also say 91. I wasn't born yet. I'm from 93. So I wasn't born yet, but I've seen Arsenal win with Vieira, Bergkamp, Henri. So you can, and I respect that. I respect my history because it's also, I think it's also has to do with how they were brought up. I respect my elders. So if I see Jess talk about Arsenal, I cannot say, oh yeah, hey Jess, you don't know shit. Meanwhile, you have fans in his fan base that cuss out a Jess and say, hey Jess, what you talking about? You don't know nothing. Meanwhile, he's been here for a long time. You cannot talk to Jess. You cannot talk to Northside, to you, Fuad, and to me, because we've seen the standard. So for people to say, oh yeah, Henri, this and this and that, Henri is the standard because he was the best player this club has ever seen. Is of course opinion based. Some people will say Bergkamp or even way back, but Henri is the standard. Arteta is not the standard. People forget he was a player for us. What did he win with us? As a matter of fact, I always say this. I remember so well when he was at our club. Nobody liked him. They always said he was garbage. They said, why did we bring him? Why did we bring Fabregas back? They wanted Fabregas back, but they got Arteta instead. But now they want to do this revisionism.
Well, the thing is, I think that's great.
This Tony Woodcock legend. He doesn't want a clue about football, bro. Do you get me? He's kissing on me, bro, and all that. But, bro, I think he's one of them guys who just, do you know what, bro? I think you were a mistake, bro. I just think you were a mistake, bro. I'll tell you straight, bro. If you're kissing on me for Arteta, then, bro, you need to go and get your life sorted, bro.
Go on, Jez. Go on, Jez.
Nobody jumps on the 2004 because a lot of the fans that are Arteta inners, that's all they know. That's all they know. 2004. Oh, is yours gold? All this bullshit, right? I mean, there's too many of them. Go and read some books. Go and look at some videos. There is a lot more that happened at this club before that, and it does. I find it annoying. And Devant, you're quite right. When Thierry Henry first joined the club, I remember that, and I'm thinking, this guy ain't all that. I remember being at Highbury watching him thinking, why have we bought this guy? But then we had a proper manager who decided to stick him out on the left wing, left midfield, whatever you want to call it, and it totally transformed him because it allowed him to cut in and do all his wizardry. But there's also the argument that after the debacle against Barcelona, he basically left the club to go and win the Champions League elsewhere. I found that a bit hard to accept personally. But then again, we can talk about a lot of players doing things like that. Fabregas, Ashley Cole, the list goes on. This is not modern football either. Ray Kennedy, one of the greatest players I ever saw in the early 70s, went off to Liverpool and won numerous trophies, European Cups, etc. This is, I said earlier, the days of the likes of Adams, who wanted to play and die for the club. You mentioned Rocky Rocastle wanted to live and die for the club. Facts and very true. But there's also a lot of other players, and especially in modern day, and I don't care whether the chat agrees with me or not, they're mercenaries. If you offer them more money than where they are, they'll come. Because that's what they want. They want money. They want the big life. It's not about the badge anymore. The one that's behind me, that great badge, right? The one that players wore with pride. You know, it's a different game now. Football's moved on, and unfortunately, we've got to accept it. Whether we like it or not, it's a different world. And it's go on, mate.
I was gonna say, all them Arsenal fans who give Van Persie a hard time. Look what's happening. Everything you said in his letter, everything you predicted. You said the club got no ambition. They're never going to show ambition.
Yeah.
And people could curse Van Persie. Let me tell you something. Robin Van Persie was a more legend at Arsenal than Arteta ever was. I tell you now.
Yeah, well, let's also talk. Look. You, all of you guys, you all remember Alexis Sanchez, great player. But he decided to move because he didn't see the ambition and moved to Man United. But it all went tits up for him, didn't it? It didn't work out. He was working with Marino. It didn't suit his style. And the guy faded into non-existence. But, hey, big mistake from you, Sanchez. If you'd stayed, I think you'd have seen a lot different. But there we go. That's football, man.
I
get that. The point is, players are look to leave Arsenal early because they don't look at us as the destination. They look at us as just part of their journey to ascend up the football pyramid. That's what we're looked upon. And I think the way that we maneuver is very flawed because we can throw money at it. But then as soon as we're going to get into this situation again. Saliba now can attract a Real Madrid or teams like that. Money comes with those big clubs. They don't have to just be at Arsenal to get the big wages. But guess what? The big wages come with trophies. And that's the problem. Now players are going to look at PSG and think, oh, PSG, oh, well, I can win the Champions League there now. They got heritage now in the game. You know what I mean? They got the money. They can pay the big wages. They're just not just building a team of superstars. But they'll hold on to their best players because they're going to continue challenging. And they're going to continue being competitive. And they will match the ability of the players with the wages. And this is the thing. And we're just left behind saying, oh, yeah, but we're doing well. Well, guess what? Not every player is fueled by money. And it's funny because fans always talk about they don't want mercenaries. But then you not demanding trophies attracts mercenaries. Man United had the most mercenaries when they weren't winning trophies or major trophies or moving serious. Mercenaries. You know what I mean? Getting Maguire on big wages, getting Rashford on Rashford came from the academy. But, he's comfortable there as long as I got my big wage. You attract mercenaries. You attract players that will, you know what I mean? Just sit. Phil Jones, just sit on a contract. Sit. I'm not going anywhere. We've had it with Rob Holding. We've had it with El Nene. I'm comfortable here. I don't get criticized for my performances here. It's negative to call me out here. So I'm comfortable. That's what it is. You attract, your low standards attract mercenaries. And then you get angry that the players aren't giving their all or the players aren't playing. Well, why should they? Where's the incentive? It's like you go into a job, putting your feet up, and then all of a sudden, someone's like, well, why don't you work hard? Why do I have to? I put my feet up and I get paid. I'm not going to give any more. Why do I need to give any more? There's no accountability here. I've been sat on this job for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Comfortable. I'm not going to change. Do you know what I mean? When companies get different CEOs or different managers that want to change it up, a lot of times they've got to get rid of certain staff because the company's gone down, but people got comfortable in that environment. So now all of a sudden they said, well, I've got used to getting my way. I don't need to. Why am I going to do over and beyond? I'm comfortable. And that's what we've created at Arsenal. The comfortability of not having to win, the comfortability of just receiving a wage and it's all good. It's okay because the fan base, not the club, not the player's agent is going to defend the player. No, you man will defend those players. Why didn't Kelleher get 100k. Do you know why? Because the majority of this fan base acted like his lawyer, said Nketiah's in the room, made a stupid song, and he gets 100k a week. Why is Martinelli still here? Because you lot were gassing it up saying Martinelli's one of the best left wingers in the league. Yeah, and he's here. Why is Zinchenko on 150k? Because you, man, said that Zinchenko is pivotal to the way that we play football. All of a sudden, the club say, oh, we need him. He's a club favourite. All of a sudden, boom. Do you know what I'm saying? The agent goes into the contract talk saying, look at the fan base. The fan base loves Zinchenko. Why do you want to get rid of him? The same fan base that was saying we didn't need a clinical goal scorer, which is why Jesus is on 220 a week. Because you, man, said he does more than score goals. Which is funny enough, when you're talking about Sesko, you're telling me the same bullshit that you told me about flipping Jesus. You told me about Havertz. He's great at everything, but he doesn't score goals. Isn't that the same shit you said about our two previous strikers? But now we need a clinical striker. Just in January, this fan base was saying we need a clinical striker, but now they'll take Sesko. This is how quick this fan base, just forget things. You told us in January we need a clinical goal scorer. We get into the summer, we'll take Sesko. Is he clinical? Is it? Because if Sesko's clinical at scoring 13 Bundesliga goals, then we might as well keep Havertz, because that's about what Havertz does in this league. So you might as well keep Havertz. You might as well keep Jesus. They put up around about the same numbers. It's all nonsense. You man gassed up Zinchenko. You man gassed up Kivior. Now we're stuck with Kivior as well. Another one we're struggling to get rid of. Another one. You man gassed up Odegaard. Now he's on what? 220, 240 a week? Who do you think is going to pay Odegaard for that? And now man is saying, oh, but Odegaard, he's not been good. He's not had a good season. Well, guess what? When he has the same crap season next season, how are we going to shift Odegaard? Please explain to me. Because we're struggling to shift Zinchenko on 150. How are we going to shift Odegaard? But it's okay, because you don't want to over-gas these players before they've even proved them anything. And then you wonder why we're stuck with deadwood players and we're struggling to shift players. You guys give props to players that haven't achieved anything. That's the difference between us and a serious club. That is the difference. And then you get surprised. Oh, I can't believe this player's on this and this player's on that. And we're struggling and maybe we can penny pinch. And then you wonder why we get 5 million, 10 million, 15 million for players. Do you know why? Because you man gas it up. Why? How about let the player prove their worth? How about that? You man over-gas Calafiori. He's on what, 120, 130? How the fuck are we going to get him off the wage bill? Because he ain't good enough. So when we need to sell him, because Skelly showed him the levels, how are we going to shift him? How are we going to shift that player? Who's paying that wage? You explain to me who's buying that. Forget how long we were trying to shift Nketiah. We were trying to shift Nketiah to Fulham. We're trying to keep shifting Nketiah to so many teams, bro. And we think that that's not gonna be the same now. This club knows absolutely nothing about business. They know nothing about selling players. They know nothing about negotiation. They know nothing about nothing, bro. All they know how to do is exploit this fan base for as much money as they can. Mikel Moreno, we're stuck with him. 130k a week Moreno's on. And yes, he did a decent job at striker. You're telling me that he's the answer as a striker? No, he's not. No, he's not. But guess what? We can't utilize him as a DM. So guess what? If Partey leaves on a free and Zubimendi falls through, we're back to using Moreno as a DM that can't perform as a DM. It's okay. We just got rid of Jorginho that was shit at playing at DM. Now we got Moreno. Now we got Moreno. Is that an upgrade? Is that an upgrade? Oh, but it doesn't matter because he can do a job. This is what we do, yeah? This club never learns. This fan base never learn. Never learn, you know.
2 seconds, bro.
Honestly, man, I'm sick and tired of it, man. I'm sick and tired of it. But listen, guys, I've taken up enough of your time. And Jez, shout out your channel, mate. And love for jumping on. Pleasure every time, man. Shout your channel out, bro.
Yeah, the channel name has actually changed as of last night. It's now Jez is Arsenal. There's a few tweaks still be done. The channel changing from Arsenal history and more. The reason I changed it, there was basically a lot of people said, Jez, can't find you on your channel, blah, blah, blah. When I've been guests on other people's channels. So I've changed it to something easy, snappy. Jez is Arsenal. Young Connor, CMO, he's doing all the graphic work and he's got other things to do for me. So big up to Connor. As always, Northside, my friend, thank you for inviting me on. Prince Foud, it's been good to see you. It's been a while. Always have a great chat with you. Top man. Devante, I think first time I've been on a show with you, man.
Yes.
So it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Been an honor.
And I'm having a great time out here in France. And a couple of people said earlier on, aren't you supposed to be on holiday? Well, yeah, you can actually bring stuff with you to actually do it. This stuff is portable. You know what I mean? I bought this green screen 2 weeks before I went on holiday. Yeah, I can move it. It's not screwed to the bloody floor of the house. You know what I'm saying? and I can bring this the thing here, iMac, with me as well. So yeah, I don't get these people, man. They think, oh, you're on holiday. Well, yeah, well, it is possible, It is possible. Big up to you guys. Big up to the chat.
Now, big up, man. His link is in the pinned comment. Jez is Arsenal. Make sure you're subscribing, man. Make sure you're supporting everyone that jumps on to the channel. Devante, big up, bro. Shout your channel out on what you got coming up next, bro.
Yeah, man. Football season is basically over, so NBA still going. We're going to the finals. OKC Pacers going to do a recap once that is finished. Got my money at OKC. Yeah, that's basically it because it's not really much going on. So I'm just like trying to see what's happening in the off season at Ajax and Arsenal in terms of like transfers. So we'll see how it goes. That's what I got coming up for the channel. Northside, Mil Irmão, Jess, been an honor, man. First time like having you here. You know what I'm saying? A true Arsenal OG and Fuad. It's always good to have somebody on the live stream, to have somebody like with a different type of view, not like the same type of views, but it's refreshing, and I love that. You know what I'm saying? So big up to you as well. Big up to everybody. Big up to the chat. I see Yasser as well making fun of that I look like an 18-year-old now because I shaved my beard. I'm sorry. I made a slip up like John Terry in 08. Take that, you Chelsea fan.
Big up Devante, man. Make sure you're subscribing to Devante. Link is in the pinned comment as well. Forward, man. You know what I mean? What are you doing? New season of Breaking Bad, yeah? What's going on, man? I'm looking like he's in prison break. What are you saying, man?
Yo, listen, this brick wall suits me fine, bro,
Rikers Island and that. What's going on? You should be, bro, with your takes, man.
You're lucky out. Donald Trump, he's nice to the world because me, I'll be building walls everywhere.
You know what? Build the wall and trap all the top gooners with you guys. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna live in a little village, bro.
I'll think about it. I'll just put him in a Titanic. It's better option.
Big up, bro. Nah, man.
Yes,
Shut your channel up, man.
I don't do much content. You just catch me on Northside, whoever wants me on their channel, bro. But most of the time, I'll be on Northside, people.
Now you're banned, man.
I'm banned from Northside's thing.
When you said we
Who do you support in basketball? You like basketball? Who do you support, Dan?
Lakers, bro. But I don't want to talk about the Lakers. I just don't.
I like the Pistons, man. Detroit Pistons.
Pistons they're looking good.
Yeah,
they got a future.
We got
you don't watch no games, man. Devante, you don't watch no games. This guy.
No, I don't watch any. I can't because of the time. I can't watch games like that anymore. I used to watch a lot of games, but I just can't.
Fuad's never seen a game, bro. He's never seen a game.
Yo, you there's no point dunking on you. You're the same size as my leg, bro.
This guy. Now, big up Fuad, man. The link to your channel is in the pinned comment, man. And big up to all of you guys. It's been a good show, man. I can't lie. You guys are helping me get through this whole transfer stuff because doing it on my ones is it just gets boring, man. It just gets so boring. But yeah, man, big up to all you guys. Big up to everyone that's locked in. We are going to redirect to Dan Potts. Unless any of you guys are going live. Any of you guys going live? No?
No.
Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to redirect to Dan Potts, Northside Raid on the way in. Make sure you're subscribing to the whole panel. The link is in the pinned comment. Make sure you're supporting all the panel, every single one of them. Link is in the title. Normski as well. And we're out, man. Northside Raid. Love. Big up. Speaking.